Something in you already knows. Before you can name it, before you can explain it to anyone, you felt the exact moment it shifted, like a door closing somewhere deep inside the universe. Your twin flame didn't just leave your life, the contract broke. And nobody warns you about what that actually means. Nobody prepares you for the dreams that go silent, the synchronicities that vanish overnight, the way your entire body grieves someone who is still breathing. This isn't ordinary heartbreak. This is a sacred agreement, dissolving. And here's what's terrifying. The signs started long before the separation, long before the silence, long before you were even ready to see them. You've been feeling this shift for a while now, haven't you? Stay with me, because what's coming next in this video is the one truth about twin flame soul contracts that changes everything. Shattered mirror, the shock of twin flame. Break. The moment the soul contract breaks, nothing looks familiar anymore. Not because the world has changed, but because you have. It feels like someone quietly removed a piece of your existence while you were still breathing. The person is gone, yet their presence echoes through every thought, every memory, every silent moment. It's as if the mirror that once reflected your deepest self has suddenly shattered into thousands of pieces, and with every broken fragment, a different version of you stares back. This isn't ordinary heartbreak. It's an identity collapse. The future you imagined disappears overnight. The emotional certainty you once depended on turns into confusion. Your heart keeps searching for a connection that your soul can no longer reach in the same way. That's why so many people describe this experience as feeling lost without understanding why. It's not simply missing another person. It's mourning the version of yourself that only existed inside that connection. For a while, nothing makes sense. Your intuition becomes louder, your emotions become heavier, and questions begin to consume every quiet moment. Why did this happen? Was the connection ever real, or was the breaking itself part of something far greater? Because sometimes, the soul doesn't destroy the mirror to punish you, it breaks the reflection. So you're finally forced to discover who you are without it. And that's where the journey becomes even more unsettling. Abyss of grief. Facing the emotional void. The loudest scream you'll ever hear is the one no one else can hear. After the soul contract breaks, the silence becomes unbearable. Not because life stops, but because something inside you does. You wake up expecting the pain to fade, yet it follows you like a shadow that never loses your trail. Familiar places suddenly feel empty. Songs sound different. Even laughter feels borrowed, as if your heart forgot how to create it on its own. This is the emotional void, a place where grief isn't only about losing someone. It's about losing the meaning they seem to bring into your life. Days begin to blur together. You replay old conversations. You search for hidden signs. You wonder if one different choice could have changed everything. But the deeper truth is far more unsettling. The void isn't trying to destroy you. It's stripping away every illusion you built around that connection. Without distractions, your deepest fears rise to the surface. Fear of abandonment, fear of being unworthy, fear of ending up alone. They don't appear because you're weak. They appear because they've been waiting for this exact moment to be seen. And once you stop running from the darkness, you notice something extraordinary. The void isn't empty at all. It's a silent space where your old identity slowly dissolves, making room for a version of you that no longer depends on another soul to feel complete. Because sometimes, the deepest grief isn't the end of your story. It's the beginning of finally meeting yourself. Soulquake, energetic chaos and awakening pain. The strangest battles leave no scars, yet they shake your entire existence. The moment the soul contract breaks, it can feel as though an invisible earthquake tears through everything you thought was stable. Nothing around you may appear different, but inside, every foundation begins to crack. Your thoughts race without warning. Your body feels exhausted even after a full night's sleep. Some mornings, your chest feels heavy for no reason. Other days, a wave of emotion arrives out of nowhere, leaving you wondering whose pain you're actually carrying. It's unsettling. Because this isn't the kind of storm you can point to. You can't hold it. You can't explain it. Yet you feel every second of it. This inner chaos forces you into a place you've spent years avoiding, the deepest parts of yourself, the fears you buried, the wounds you ignored, the truths you kept hidden behind distractions. The connection didn't create those cracks. It simply revealed where they had always been. And as uncomfortable as that sounds, awakening rarely arrives gently. It arrives like thunder. It tears down old beliefs. It questions every certainty. It demands that you release the identity built on attachment, expectation, and illusion. For a while, it feels like everything is falling apart. But look closer. The soul isn't collapsing. It's rearranging itself. Because sometimes the greatest awakening doesn't begin with peace. It begins with chaos so powerful that the person you used to be can no longer survive it. And from those ruins, someone entirely new begins to rise. Karmic reckoning. Lessons in the ruins. The hardest truth isn't losing someone, it's realizing they were never meant to stay forever. When the dust settles after a twin flame soul contract breaks, the pain begins to ask a different question. Not, why did they leave? But, what was this connection trying to teach me? That's when the karmic reckoning begins. Every memory becomes a lesson. Every disappointment becomes a mirror. Every unanswered question points back toward the one person you've avoided confronting, yourself. It becomes painfully clear that the relationship wasn't built only to bring love. It was built to expose attachment, to reveal old wounds, to challenge beliefs you never realized were controlling your life. The ruins left behind aren't proof that the journey failed. They're evidence that something outdated had to collapse before something authentic could emerge. Looking back, you begin to notice patterns you once ignored. The repeated mistakes, the emotional dependence, the silent compromises. None of them were punishments. They were invitations to grow. And that's the hidden purpose of karmic lessons. They don't arrive to break your spirit. They arrive to break the illusion you've been living inside. Because the greatest transformation doesn't happen when someone finally chooses you. It happens the moment you choose the wiser version of yourself, standing quietly among the ruins, stronger than the person who first walked into them. Phoenix rising, rebirth and healing. After the break. The person who walked into the fire is never the same person who walks out. Because some endings don't destroy you. They erase everything that was never truly yours. After the storm of separation, after the tears, after the endless search for answers, something unexpected begins to happen. The silence that once felt like a punishment starts becoming your sanctuary. You stop chasing what walked away. You stop begging for a connection that requires you to lose yourself. And slowly, you return to the one person who was waiting all along. You. This is the moment of rebirth. The broken pieces you thought were proof of your failure become the foundation of your transformation. The wounds that once controlled your choices become lessons that guide your future. You begin to understand that healing was never about forgetting someone. It was about remembering yourself. The old version of you was built around attachment. The new version is built around awareness. And like a phoenix rising from the ashes, you don't come back looking for the person who left. You rise as someone who no longer needs to be completed by another soul. Because sometimes the greatest gift of a broken soul contract is discovering the power of a soul that finally belongs to itself. The journey of a broken soul contract is not a story about losing someone. It's a story about finding the parts of yourself that were waiting to be awakened. The mirror shattered, the grief arrived, the chaos changed you, the lessons revealed you, and finally, the fire transformed you. Because sometimes the universe removes a connection not to leave you empty, but to create space for something greater to enter. The greatest reunion you will ever experience is not with another person, it's with yourself. So, if you are standing in the ruins of something that once felt eternal, remember this. Some endings are not meant to break your soul, they are designed to reveal its strength. The question is no longer who walked away. The question is, who are you becoming now? If this message connected with you, share your thoughts below. And remember, the soul that survives the storm is always stronger than the one that entered it.